Hey Grizzlies fans, welcome back to the first edition of the Grizzlies Coaches Show in 2026. It's been a while, but we're finally back. Josh Bartosik here, joined alongside assistant coach Brandon Ratzloff. Brandon, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to be back.
I know, it's been a long time.
It has, so
yeah.
it's refreshing.
New year, new us, so to speak.
Right.
But we'll start with the Grizzlies, who have really caught a hot stretch as of late. They've won 6 of their last 8 games. What do you think is working the best for this team right now?
You know, I think prior to the stretch of 8 games, we really lacked intensity in defending. So we would cheat offense and, try to catch breaks on the offensive side. But the last 8 games, we've really taken pride in being tough to play against in our D zone. And what we tell our guys is defense leads to offense. So we've really taken a step there and, just focused on keeping our guy in front of us, tying up in front and boxing out, and it's led to less goals against. And on the contrary, we've been good in the offensive zone because we've been detailed in the D zone. We break out clean, we get chances on the rush, and then we have fun in the fun zone, right? So,
there you go.
Net front's been a lot better too. So creating havoc in front of the goaltender and jumping on loose rebounds. So it's really all coming together, and it all starts with the details of the game. So
Yeah, it really started to come together during the showcase. Grizzlies got the sweep up in Blaine and then kind of continued that past showcase, a big sweep over the St. Louis Junior Blues this past weekend to move into second place in the division. Someone that's really stood out, and there's a lot of new guys on this team since the last time I did one of these shows, but Nick Season, a new guy over coming to the Grizzlies, but then also guys like Jake Cush and now the newly acquired Connor Williams. What do each of those 3 guys bring to the table now with the Rochester Grizzlies?
Yeah, obviously bringing in new guys, it adds to our depth overall. So starting with Season, he's from Slovenia. He brings kind of a speed game to us. He's got great skills. He thinks the game well. So he's really going to help us out offensively and, obviously defensively as well, but it's a little bit different structure than he's used to. So it's a work in progress, but he's going to contribute offensively for us. And the other 2, Jake Cush and Connor Williams, Willie just got here today, but looking forward to seeing more from him. And, those 2 guys, they add depth to our blue line. And I think having 8 defensemen that can jump in and make an impact and, really help defend our net and break pucks out, retrieve with urgency. I think those 2 are very capable of that, and that helps offensively too, right? You got to get out of the zone, and like I said, defense leads to offense. So having guys that can quick retrieve pucks, make a great first pass, that's what they're going to do for us.
It's been fun to see, the 2 guys in Cush and especially Season, who just had 2 goals the other day against West Bend, elevated to the first line because Ole Feeble, one of the 2 guys since the last time we did this show that has been called up to the NAHL. Tevin Stukel also last week was called up to Austin, but excited to see what a guy like Connor Williams brings as well. Moving over to special teams, the power play has been solid, still been top 10 pretty much the entire season, but penalty kill's taken a bit of a dip these last few weeks. I remember we were looking over, talking about these questions before the show, and you kind of gave me a look when I brought up the penalty kill. But it's given up a goal now in 6 straight games. What do you think needs to change on the penalty kill besides obviously probably taking a few less penalties?
Yeah, I mean, you said it best right there. I think there's penalties that we take where we can avoid it. The reaching penalties, they've got to stop. I get it if it's a tough battle and, maybe it hit a guy too hard, but the reaching penalties, they've got to stop. The soft slashes and all that. But if we look at in zone, our PK right now, like West Bend, they tore us apart. I think they went 3 for 5.
Yeah.
But if you look at some of those games before, we're killing off 7 or 8 penalties. So you're going to give up 1, but let's keep it at 1 if it's that many penalties, right? But the biggest thing is we've got to take away the seams better. Our sticks, they're not as active as I'd like them to be, and I think the last time we talked about this, we weren't selling out for shots. So it really, you've got to sacrifice. That's what the kill's about. Taking the shot lane away, getting that stick up in their kitchen so that they don't have a good shot, and force them to move where we want them to move, and we can all do that with stick details. So The overall details got to be better. We had a good practice today, working on those things. Releases have to be better. If we see a puck's rimmed, back's turned, we're on it. We're jumping on it, forcing them to panic, so to speak, and that throws off their chances of executing a good pass. So those are all things that have to come into play. I'm confident we'll bounce back, but just an off night in West Bend, I tell you.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, that's a West Bend team, only 2 regulation losses this entire season. I'm pretty sure it's now 26 straight games at the point for them too. But it's been tough, and sometimes old habits die hard for the Grizzlies in terms of not selling out for those block shots, trying to pressure, but a chance to get back right tomorrow against the Wisconsin Wolves. I mean, one of the few times this month, just one of 3 times this month that the Grizzlies are not in front of the Rochester Recreation Center faithful. They will technically have a quote-unquote home game in a few weeks in Hastings for Hockey Day, Minnesota. We'll talk more about that next week on the show. But how important is it for the Grizzlies, especially in this junction, in this type of where we are in the season? It's mid-January. Every point is so crucial. How important is it to have that home ice advantage?
It's everything, really. I mean, I look at last year, and we had a few losses that we look back on, and those were the differences. Early on in the year, you kind of have this present mindset, which is good, but you've got to factor in every single point matters. And if you lose 2 or 3 games early on, it's going to hurt you. It's going to come back to hurt you in the long run. So we still have to approach every game with that now mentality, like, let's get these 2 points now so we don't have to worry about it later on. But home ice advantage, I mean, playing in front of a packed away barn, I tell you, sometimes our guys rise to the occasion, but it makes just that much more of an impact for the home team. So, we're playing for home ice advantage. That's the goal. And right now we just got to string some wins together and keep at it.
Yeah, you like to hope for the Grizzlies that the home ice advantage for Wisconsin tomorrow won't be too much of a factor, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. We'll be right back after a quick word from our team chiropractor, Thrive Wellness.
Your body is designed to function at its best, but daily stress, poor posture, and even minor injuries can disrupt your health. At Thrive Wellness, we focus on restoring balance and alignment so you can live pain-free and perform at your peak. Chiropractic care is a natural, effective approach to improving mobility, reducing discomfort, and enhancing overall wellness. Don't wait for pain to hold you back. Call 507-258-4100 or visit thrivewellness.com today to schedule your consultation. Experience the benefits of a properly aligned body because optimal health starts with a healthy spine.
And we are back, and now time for everyone's favorite part, the fun questions. So we missed a lot of stuff since the last time we were on. I think the last time we did this was right before Thanksgiving, and then winter break happened, the showcase happened. Nobody was really in this, we really weren't in this rink, but for you, what was your favorite Christmas gift or maybe activity you did during the holiday break?
Obviously just being with family, we kind of have a tradition where we go to Red Wing for my mom's side and then Woodbury for my dad's side. And I actually had the privilege of joining my girlfriend and being part of her Christmas tradition. So that was very rewarding and made me feel good to be a part of that. So my favorite gift, though, again, a little soft answer here, but my girlfriend, she made me a scrapbook about our relationship. So it hit me hard.
That's a good one.
A few tears here and there, but
nothing wrong with that.
It's very thoughtful and very sweet. So
hey,
I got to shout her out.
Yeah, you gotta show emotion sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great gift right there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. I got a couple of. I told my family that I was. They knew that I was now in Minnesota, moving from North Carolina. I think all of them decided that I needed a puffer jacket. So I've got 3 just now loaded up in the closet whenever it gets really cold. Maybe for that outdoor game in a few weeks in these classes.
Options.
Yeah, I got plenty of options to choose from. I gotta show out. But right after Christmas is obviously New Year's, and we've talked to a few of the guys. Well, did Simmon sessions this week. They said their New Year's resolution was to win the Fraser Cup, which
that's great.
Shout out there. But for you, do you have any personal New Year's resolutions, or is it the same sort of mindset as the rest of the guys?
I mean, obviously, Fraser Cup's in my sights, and everybody, it should be. But, for more personal resolution, I feel like it's pretty cliche. I'd like to get into the gym a bit more. I feel like you get busy, you get carried away in your daily life, and sometimes you just gotta, set all that aside, work on yourself, make some gains in the gym, and stay in shape. So
yeah, hey, you can come with me anytime. I try to go 5 to 6 times a week, but it's a little bit tough.
Look at you.
Yeah, well, try. Has happened, I think. Now it's more so 2 or 3 of these last couple of weeks. Again, like we just talked about, you've been so busy up in Blaine, back here. We weren't here because of the World Junior exhibition that was going on. It's just been so back and forth, and obviously the start of the new year makes things a little bit difficult too. But we'll get you right in the gym. We'll have you max out 375 on the bench, right?
Oh wow, that's a big jump.
That's your warm up, though. I thought. Well,
yeah, that's the goal.
There you go. Well, speaking of the World Juniors, the exhibition games were here, but we both separately went to the championship game this past Monday.
Yeah.
Sweden versus Czechia. What was that experience like?
It was unbelievable. I mean, I think if you look at it, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You don't know when it's going to come back to Minnesota again. And just being able to see the best talent at this age group, right? It's juniors.
Yeah.
And just how quick they think the game, and, they're laying it all on the line for their country. I think it was unbelievable. I had ice seats, too. I was right behind the penalty box, so... being that close and just seeing the speed of the game was crazy, and some NHL prospects, it's unbelievable.
Sides,
yeah.
Being down at ice level is and then being someone that goes to hockey games all the time, and obviously a broadcaster around the game, but going from even just 20 rows up to ice level, you can see the crazy difference.
Yeah.
Just in the speed of the game, and that was a fantastic game. Checking nearly the late game comeback. We were talking about too. The first time we heard that Czechia goal song, we were kind of like, I don't know, but grew on you real quick. It's a good one. I listened to it in the gym the other day. Actually, I got distracted from my work, and I was too busy jamming out to whatever the song. I can't pronounce the name of the song.
I can't either.
Yeah, but it was
good vibes.
Yeah, but a couple of prospects on Sweden that you're a big fan of, the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yes.
However, how worried are you about those Chicago Blackhawks? 27th in the league. Bedard's coming back tonight.
He is coming back
against the Capitals, but are you just kind of maybe it's a next year sort of thing, getting a top pick, Gavin McKenna in the future?
If we want to talk about that, I think Stenberg's the better prospect.
I don't have time to talk about that as a Penn State guy.
Back to the Blackhawks. I'm not too worried. If you look at the standings, it's a lot closer than you think. If you put a good stretch together, they're on a 4-game win streak right now.
And that's without Bedard.
Yeah, without Bedard.
And Frank.
They started 6-1 or whatever without him, but that just goes to show how much of an impact player he is. So he's back. I think they're going to pick up where they left off, and here we go, wild card. Be ready for the Hawks.
There you go. It could be a fun one. I mean, both conferences, there's only a few teams that are below 500. I think the East, there's not a single team that's below 500 right now.
They're good.
It's a wagon this year, but we'll have to see. Connor Bedard, a Olympic snub. I think we can both agree on that one. I'm also going to shout out Seth Jarvis as an Olympic snub too. We had a little bit of a discourse about them in the office earlier. Don't give me that love. Well, that's all the time we got this week for the Coaches Show. It's been the first one in a while, but it's always a pleasure to have you on.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a great time.
Great time. We will be back next week for another edition of the Grizzlies Coaches Show. The team, as we talked about, in Toma tomorrow, and then they play Wisconsin next Friday for the annual blackout game, and then the following day play West Bend in a rare time where you don't see the team play a series in a weekend. But until then, you can buy your tickets on tickets.rochestergrizz.com. And as always, let's go Grizz.
Let's go Grizz Nation.